Hello! Welcome to Science and Sorcery. It's Mappa Mundi. I thought of that before Emily posted it.
Lies. Full lies. Copyright TM Emily Bates.
We are very excited to be playing a brand new game, Mappa Mundi, and we're going to get into a little bit of detail about that in a sec. But first, let me introduce you to my wonderful players. First up, we have Emily.
Oh, hello. Hi, I'm Emily Bates. You might know me from over at RP Geeks. I use she, her pronouns. I am a white woman with brown hair. I have white headphones on. I've got a white top with a green cardigan on. And yeah, you might know me from RP Geeks or various other TTRPG shows on this here internet. And yeah, I'm super excited. I love this game. It's going to be great. I'm not playing the kid from Up.
Rachel.
Hello, I'm Rachel Williams. My pronouns are she and they. I am from Science and Sorcery. I am a black woman with long brown dreadlocks. And I'm wearing kind of glittery eyeshadow. And today I went to the dentist. I got my teeth polished and they're extra shiny. Yee! That's my face.
Sam.
Hello, my name is Sam. My pronouns are he, him. I am a white man with a short brown beard, short brown hair, colourful glasses, which you can never see on this camera, but they're really colourful. And I'm wearing a Goonies t-shirt because I'm just feeling like the 1980s is where I should have been born. I'm really, really excited to be playing this game as a lapsed zoologist, and so the chance to be able to talk about animals and their connections with people in nature is just right up my street. So yeah, really excited.
And I'm Khalil Thurlaway, he, him. I'm a mixed white Arab man with a dark short beard and short dark hair. And I'm wearing an earth print hoodie in honor of our game today. So, on the subject of our game today, we're playing Mappa Mundi from the lovely people at 3 Sails Studios. So, this is a new game. It's actually currently still in Kickstarter, so you can back it if you want. And it is a game about exploring the world, studying monsters to better understand them, and discovering stuff about ourselves along the way. In this world of ecumen, the world has been through about a century of environmental upheaval, kind of arcane magical upheavals. And in the aftermath, people are reconnecting with the world and coming to terms with the changes in it and kind of re-establishing their presence and connection in it. As part of this, the Mappa Mundi Institute has formed, which is a kind of an academic explorers union type thing, but with less of the kind of colonial connotations of exploring and more of the kind of pure-hearted wanting to understand and study and chronicle and share knowledge of this new changed world and the creatures within it. And some of those creatures are bloody huge. We call them monsters. And these are not monsters in the scary, gonna eat your kids or burn down your house type. Well, some of them might be, but not all of them. They are just monstrous in scale and magical and wondrous in form and abilities. So some of them might be derivatives of or related to organisms that we might be familiar with in the real world, but they might have a little magical twist. So, without further ado, let's tell a story. So this story takes place in Tia Hakim, which is an area of Ecumen. It's kind of an ecological and cultural crossroads between multiple continents. There are kind of all kinds of ecosystems, from deserts to swamps to mountains to grassland, and it varies really, really strongly in its kind of topography and things like that. So we won't go into the mechanics of the game, I think, yet. We'll get into them as we encounter them. The curtain comes up, and we are looking at kind of semi-arid, rolling foothills of a larger mountainous landscape in the distance. The ground is a kind of pale ochre. It doesn't look super like dusty or barren. There are grasses and shrubs and the occasional small tree growing around here. But it's not like densely forested. In the distance, we see, the middle distance, we see a kind of small to middling town or settlement. The buildings are, by the most part, single story, maybe one or two that are two-story, and they seem to be mostly made out of dry timber frames and mud brick walls. But in the foreground, we see the backs of two figures. Rachel, would you like to introduce what the audience sees with your character?
Sure. So if you're looking at my character from behind, you'll see sort of long flowing skirts, and she's got her kind of backpack, hang over, and as she walks, it gently clinks with things that she's found or been gifted along her travels, waiting to gift in return. And you are seeing Nicola, who is a very tall woman, and kind of is taking the time to just feel the air as it passes over her skin, feel the ground beneath her feet, and walks almost like, if you were watching a horse kind of slowly trud towards its destination, carrying things on its back with that same kind of intention and clarity. So yeah, that's Nicola.
Lovely. And beside Nicola, her companion, Sam.
You see a fairly elderly looking lady who is walking along, fidgeting with a small telescope, trying to put the lens back into alignment. So one eye shut, trying to focus, but darting towards the road every so often to see exactly where they're going. She has these long greying hair, large glasses of her own, and she is carrying too many tools that seem to just be slunk over her shoulders. I would imagine that she's probably walking a little bit ahead of Nicola. For her age, she still has quite the stride on her and still wants to get to her next destination. This is Mags.
I'm imagining this sounds great. Both of you clinking as you walk across the grassland. So this is a dirt road. It's not paved, but it is, in decent nick. And you have been sent by the Mappa Mundi Institute to this town of Al-Qadi. Al-Qadi is a relatively new town. It's kind of on the edge of the wilderness as people start to, reach out into what used to be dangerous territory due to the flux. Now it's apparently safe to inhabit, but Al-Qadi has reported some missing people, and in fact 2 groups of missing people, one after the other, and this is what raised the, I'm not going to say alarm, but the notice of the Mappa Mundi Institute. So this is an opportunity for what we call shaping in Mappa Mundi, where both the players and the narrator get to form parts of what's going on. So how have Mags and Nicola arrived here? What have they just been doing? How are they feeling about that as you're getting closer and closer to the town?
Mags, fiddling with this telescope, will turn and look disapprovingly towards Nicola. Can you hurry up?
I mean, I'm doing my work. This is part of my work. I've told you this before. I need to feel what's going on. Okay?
What do you mean, feel what's going? This is, Nicola, this is the 7th stage of this exploration.
Mhm.
I can't just think every 2 seconds that you are stopping to smell the roses or to like feel the air or lick a stone.
That was
You
one
passed a very
time.
hardy desert rose bush.
Oh, but
No.
well, fine. Well, then, if you can tell me what's different about this place, then maybe I'll, speed up. There's something here. I can feel it. But can you?
Well, I've been looking at the signs and to see exactly what is going on, but the people here seem welcoming, and we haven't felt that in a little while.
You're missing it, Sam. You're missing it, Max. Not welcoming. There's a yearning here. More than your yearning to stick your little toy back together. This place has been torn apart.
This is important. You're trying to feel things. I'm trying to see things.
As you talk about yearning and you talk about seeing, you realize that in your arguing, you have not seen that you have arrived at the edges of the town and you are being seen. You see the occasional kind of, the small town, the equivalent of curtain twitching, the heads peeking out at unfamiliar new faces.
Well, maybe time to kind of find some other company.
Company's great. Sure. Should we find something to eat? Somewhere to rest? Somewhere
Sounds
to just
good.
have a moment of quiet?
All right, let's shape this together. Where do you find? What is this? What is this thing that you find? This place that you get your first rest in a while?
Okay, I think the place that we find is kind of in the center of town. There's almost like a food market. It's almost like a potluck, people bringing different items, and then there are kind of collective stoves to cook over. So we're attracted by the smell of the food more than anything as we arrive.
I remember on a previous expedition when someone, and for once she smiles, remembering something, someone put a pair of purple shorts into a stew. And the mayor of the town was not a fan. Didn't taste great either, but maybe we'll find something better here.
So this area is mostly filled with older townsfolk, out of the sun, cooking and eating and talking. And as you enter, you are new in this town, so people turn to you. An older person, kind of hard to tell their gender. They're in kind of layers of shawls, and they walk surprisingly briskly up to you. They say, "Oh, welcome, travelers. You walked all this way. Welcome to Alkadi."
Well met.
Thank you so much. And Nicola bows deeply, and she's very tall, so it's very dramatic.
Oh, we don't really go for bowing around here, but you're welcome. No, sorry, the vibe might be a little bit subdued here.
Why?
We've frontier town stuff. We've lost some folks.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
You look like you could hand yourselves, survive in the wilderness. All these jingle jangles.
Yeah, we're from the Mappa Mundi Institute. I think if we can help.
I've heard of you.
Oh,
Yeah.
good things, I hope.
I mean, you wander around studying stuff, drawing maps. Sounds
much.
pretty harmless.
That's that's a succinct way to put it. Yes.
You any good at tracking?
It's something we're trained to do. I mean, the journey is an important part of our mission.
What have you lost?
Come sit. And they sit you down amongst a circle of older people. Emily, your character, we can shape this together, but I thought they might be maybe looking in through a window or eavesdropping somehow.
Oh, if there's a place where people are talking about the things that have been going on, yeah, they're absolutely probably crouched under a window, or probably not even crouched. They're very short, and just sort of like eyes peeking over. They are a very young, probably around 10-year-old boy. He's got this sort of mop of curly brown hair in sort of little tight ringlets. There are little feathers and bits of sticks and mud caked into it, wearing very like brown, simple clothes that clearly have just sort of been thrown on him because they know they'll get muddy. And he's got a sort of satchel that is overflowing with paper and bits, and there seems to be rocks and sticks sticking out of it all over the place.
Okay, so Mags or Nicola, feel free to roll an observation check.
I'll do it.
Yeah, you go for it. First roll.
This is going to be medium difficulty.
Okay, observation's one of my strengths, so that's a D6. And I got a 3.
You're a very observant person, and you, out of the corner of your eye, you see a little kind of tuft over the bottom of the window. I'll let you react or not as you wish.
I think Nicola will just say, excuse me, and go over to the window and just come down to eye level to meet this little person. Hello.
Hello,
What's your name?
I'm Justin.
Do you want to join us?
Are you the people from the Mappa Mundi Institute?
You're really observant, Justin.
Oh my god, thank you so much. Yeah, I'll come in. And just sort of like suddenly just barges through the door into this room. It's like, hi everyone, hi. And runs over to you and like grabs your hand.
You see Justin gets a real mixed reaction from the older folks. Some very kind of avuncular or kind of semi-parental kind of affection. Some kind of, this kid again. And you're in this circle of older people around a kind of cooking pot.
He probably bumps into the cooking pot a little bit. Sorry. Hi. I'm Justin. I'm gonna be a Mappa Mundi person.
I
Nicola,
love
do you
that
need to-
intention.
Do you need to take the children outside for a little game, Nicola? The adults are talking.
No, Mags, no. This is the first part of our, real work here. You know that intention shapes fate and guides fate's hands.
Sorry.
There's a
And
reason
he pulls out a bit of paper and is like, can you say that again?
Intention shapes fate and guides. Look, I think that this young person here might have some insight into the things that could come to be.
Fine. Okay, sure. Let's
Are
entertain it.
you a Chronicler too?
Yes, I'm a Chronicler.
Chronicler. That's
Well,
what I said.
Lovely to meet you,
Justin.
I'm Margaret, or people call me Mags.
Max. Lovely.
Mags is a fixer.
A fix. That's one of the things. That you can. I think I'm gonna be an archivist.
Wonderful.
Well, taking all those notes, that sounds about right.
Yes. Thank you.
Mhm.
Right, I think, Justin, before we talk, let's just have a listen to see what else we can find out.
A listen.
And
One
then
of the
kind
more
of
cynical older people just leans over and says, don't encourage him. If he runs around in the hills, gets himself into trouble, one of these days he's not going to come back.
With that, Mags will actually kind of snap her head towards this elder and say, well, I believe that you should listen to the people that spend the time in the wilds, whether that's us or whether it's the youngers that are trying to... Justin, who are
say
trying
that
to
to
make
Gia,
the way...
say that to Zashid, say that to Marwa, say that to Lena, say that to Abo, say that to Taufik. They're all gone.
And they
were our best gatherers. And first 3 of them, then the next 3, gone. On the mountain. Like, we've been gathering off those hills for as long as we've been here. Then all of a sudden, poof.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to help.
Well,
Do you have...
Don't touch anything.
Hey.
Do you have any clue what happened to them?
And before you respond, I'll just hand over this telescope to Justin. Hold this, it's important.
Okay. Just freezes in place, holding the telescope, and just stares at it. Will not move until it is taken away from him.
I'll just nudge Nicola and go, that's all you need to do. Give them something to occupy themselves, and they'll listen.
Well, as I was saying, you can tell that this person is used to being listened to. Well, Gia, Zashid, and Marwa, experienced gatherers, they went up into the hills to look for some timber, firewood, stuff like that. I mean, for the firewood, that's everywhere really, but good timber for building. We're a growing town. It's hard to come by in the lowlands, these foothills. You got to go a little bit higher up. But we've been having to go further and further for good wood. So, we're used to people taking a little bit longer than they used to. But there's a couple of weeks that they were gone. And after a week or so, we sent out a couple more people, to look for them. And also, we still need firewood. We still need stuff that you can only get in the tree line. So Lena, Abo, and Taufik, they didn't come back either. And, that's 6 experienced people that... One team going missing is an accident. 2, something's up. And some people are saying maybe they got eaten by a monster, Maybe there's some kind of giant snake or 10-legged scorpion beast with 40 wings. I don't know. You hear tales of all sorts of stuff.
I've never heard tale of that ever.
Oh no, Justin, those things do exist out in the world. There are some exciting...
40 wings. Birds only have 2 normally.
Normally.
Have you seen a bird with 3 wings?
I've seen a bird with 4.
Okay, please, excuse me, would you mind if I put this down so I can draw that?
I'll take it back.
Okay, thank you. And immediately pulls out a book and starts scribbling a picture of a bird.
Listening to what we've been told about these groups going missing and trying to figure out where we might go from here, could I potentially make an exploration roll using my resourceful skill to try and think of what a solution might be?
Absolutely, yeah. So I believe having the skill allows you to auto-succeed, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you can. You can decide that he has to roll for it as well if it's a difficult check.
What are you trying to deduce?
We've had a rules clarification by the game writer that you are correct, Cole.
Mm-hmm. You can make him roll for it though.
I did
checked
my
it. I was
homework.
like, I want to make people roll all the time.
Yeah. I want to, as this cynical old lady, figure out that perhaps there's someone in the room who can help.
Sure, yeah. Mags, you've seen a lot, and you've seen a lot of people. You deduce that people are scared, but many people in the room are scared, but they are hiding it, partly because they don't want to foment more fear, and partly because life is somewhat precarious out here on the edge of the wilderness. And yes, it's, scary and relatively unheard of for two experienced teams of gatherers to go missing so shortly after each other. But, life is hard and precarious out here. You get the idea that the older people here could probably give you kind of logistical information about, what the teams were doing and what direction they went. But it seems like perhaps Justin might have been about the place a lot. Like, he has little kind of natural trinkets that he seems to have collected from somewhere.
Can I jump in?
Absolutely.
I think maybe as Justin is like flipping to a new page to draw this new bird that you've inspired him to draw, you maybe see like pictures and drawings and sketches and scribbled notes of places that you think you've passed by on your way here, and they look pretty detailed and good, and so you probably see like little glimpses of them as Justin is sort of just flicking to a page to draw this new bird that he's made up in his head.
And you might even see the odd drawing or trinket that you haven't seen in this immediate locale yet.
I will look at what's going on with the drawings and then look back to the elder and just say that children are not things to be molded, but people that are to be unfolded.
I have a lot of paper.
Sometimes they're to be scolded.
Sometimes.
Right.
But in this situation, it doesn't seem like that's the right course of action. Justin.
Hello.
Would you like to be a chronicler?
Yes, please, more than anything in the world.
Well, it will take some time to get there.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm ready. I'm going to do the work. I've been reading the pamphlet, and I've been practicing, and I've been studying, and I've been going around, and I've been trying to help. And I know Lena, one of the people who went missing, and I was trying to find her. And if you could help her, that would be really great. But maybe I could help you first, because I know things, and I know how to get to the hills, and I know places that they don't know about because they don't listen to me.
What do you think, Nicola?
I think you'd be the perfect guide, Justin.
Oh my god. Okay.
And-
I've made a compass, and he pulls out a rock which he has drawn like compass points on and then stuck a stick to, and he goes, "It's not really working yet, but I think maybe once I become a chronicler it will work."
Okay. Actually, I will reach into my bag of tools, being a quartermaster, and pull out a broken compass.
That's nice.
This one's also not working.
Oh.
But maybe if you spend some time figuring it out, we can get it operational again.
Okay.
Here, take this.
Okay. He'll reach out and take it, and again just stop very still and stare at it. Thank you. I can put this in my satchel?
Well, you'll want to keep it close by.
Okay.
Always trust your compass.
Okay. And he'll pull out a bit of string and like attach it and then put it like as a necklace around his head.
Orienteering.
Nudge Nicola. I think we've got to fix her. You try and get him into your group, but I think he's one of mine.
Oh, I think Justin could be a fine diviner. Only time will tell. And like that kind of sparks a realization for her. She turns back to like this elderly person that is just watching us like take this child and says, "On my breath, blood and bones, I will do everything to make sure this young one comes back. No fate can change that."
You bring him back in one piece, or no number of gods on this earth will be able to save you.
You're being very dramatic.
Hey, come
Deal.
Let me have some gravitas.
Okay, sorry.
I think Nicola nods knowingly and then, turns to proceed.
So, for any rules heads in the audience, we are mixing up the structure of Mappa Mundi slightly. Typically, you will have a research phase, a journey phase, and an encounter phase. But we are going to kind of combine the research and journey phases, because I think a lot of what these chroniclers, all three of these chroniclers, are going to learn is going to be through their travel. So you
can't see
read
it.
that.
Oh no, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Justin is much better at drawing than Emily is. But this is my four-winged bird that Justin's drawn.
I
There we
love
go.
it.
Yeah.
I want that on a t-shirt.
It's drawn on lined paper and everything.
All the best things are. So, you know that these gathering teams had headed up into up the hills and towards the mountains, going a little bit further than previous expeditions had, and that one had gone, not come back, and then the other had gone and also not come back. What would you like to do from here?
So Nicola is a diviner, which means that she connects to kind of intentions and memories of places through the power of the bones, which are essentially the dice. And she has a skill called memories, which can be used for exploration. So when I'm navigating somewhere, I can sense memories from long ago. And I would like to kind of see if, having felt like the passion of the elder missing the people who went missing, can I follow that kind of thread of intention deeper into the forest to kind of replay the tracks of the previous expeditions?
Ooh, interesting. Yes, I'm gonna make this a roll though, because how well this roll goes will determine how hospitable this first leg of the journey is.
Okay, great. Exploration, one of my strengths, so that's a D6. 4!
Okay. So, you sense two threads of intention. One that seems a bit lighter, one that seems kind of a bit more, oh, we're just off on something that's a normal journey, and another that seems almost kind of tinged with a kind of trepidation or determination, or little notes of various emotions around those. And you can see that it guides you towards a stream, a creek that runs next to the town, and it runs down the hills towards the town and past down to the plains below, and it seems to be following that stream upwards.
Okay. I think as well what this looks like is Nicola kind of is almost sort of doing long shuffles instead of taking steps, and occasionally like bending down to touch or smell the earth as they go.
Justin is copying everything that Nicola is doing, not really knowing why, but it seems important.
It's very important.
Mags will be collecting little pieces of kind of anything that's similar to, say, willow, if we find anything like kind of pliable, thin branches, and just starting to repair some loops of carrying tools along the inside of her coat. And
yeah, there are plants like that. So on the banks of the creek, the soil is naturally a little bit moister, and so the plant growth is a bit more verdant than the kind of semi-arid hills around it. It's a kind of medium volume kind of trickling stream. It sounds really gorgeous. That kind of there are small fish kind of swimming, when they're swimming upstream but staying in one place. There are dragonflies flitting between reeds. That roll, Rachel, was successful, and so this first journey card, the river, is in its upright configuration. So these cards can be in their upright or their inverted configuration. And if you see the artwork on these cards, oh my
So
god.
pretty.
But that just basically means that an upright card is a much more hospitable and navigable part of the journey. If it's inverted because you have either done something unwise or rolled poorly on something, then it's going to be a little bit more of a hostile environment. And that will affect your journey.
Nicola,
Yes, Justin.
are we following the stream?
Yeah, you're right. And this is something humans have done for many, many years. Water is life if you follow the water.
Sure.
You can
Sure.
settle.
I did it before, and it took me like through the mountain.
Oh, fantastic. How was the journey?
Oh, it's fine. Just sort of a bit damp. And then I came out the other side, and there was a big hole.
Oh, how
Yes,
big?
Real
I-
big.
I
was
was going
like-
to ask,
It was like the ground was gone.
are we going into the mountain?
You kind of like, you go, it's the stream, and then I would call it a cave, and then you just carry on in the cave, and then I think eventually you're not in a cave, you're in a mountain. And then I
Okay.
came out the mountain, and there was a big hole. I was trying to follow a bird I liked.
What did the bird look like?
It was like a little blue one, and it had a little pink stripe on its head. And it
Oh.
went like that a lot.
Gorgeous.
Everyone do it. That's very good. Yes. Hang on. Let's listen. I can. What? What just happened? Whose laugh is that?
I think it's my flatmate's laugh for her pasta.
Oh my god.
That was. Mwah.
So
If you're watching that, please
Click
clip
that.
that.
Click that.
I wasn't gonna have that bird be this far down the stream, but you know what? You don't see anything, but you do hear you think in the midst of the babbling brook and the reeds rustling in the wind, you think you do hear
I do have the Twitcher skill as well, in case you want me to do anything with that. But there you go. That's
yeah,
Okay.
you can roll.
Just-
You can
I'm
roll.
good at birds.
You can roll for Oh, would it be exploration?
It is an
Deduction?
observation skill,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm happy to take
Yeah,
whatever.
roll observation. Yeah.
6.
Okay.
Natty.
This bird is not in the guide, and you are pretty sure of that.
I think I found it. I was reading the book, and it was all talking about all these birds, and I was like, I've never seen this bird before. So I followed it, and I went over the mountain. And I was like, well, I've got to find it. But then I thought it was following the stream, but then it went like up and down, and then so I went through. It wasn't the other. I couldn't see it the other side though. It was just that big hole, and I got scared, so I came back.
Wow.
It's very
Justin,
brave.
you very brave.
Thanks.
Bags?
Well, I don't think I've heard anything like that before. That's
Like that.
like that. It's unique. It's new.
You hear another, but this time it's an echo of Justin's noise, a literal echo, because you've gone a little bit further up into the hills towards the bottoms of the mountains, and so it's a little bit more kind of rocky and cliffy, as well as more verdant because it's less kind of wind and sun beat. But that was just the sound bouncing off the rocks around you.
Well, I think it's important that you draw that bird down for us, Justin.
I have. And he'll flip back to the page in his notebook where he's drawn the bird, and it's and like it is almost like it's not an anatomical drawing because he only saw it in a branch and in flight, but it is a gorgeous, not like Emily's drawings. It is a beautifully done, like colored in, like the art is excellent.
It surprisingly looks like Jeremy's art from Freestyle Studios in this book.
It really does. Yeah.
It is, it's a kind of, it's hard to portray iridescence with coloring pencils, but it's this kind of shifting between kind of aquamarine blue and magenta and little bits of kind of black and turquoise and green. It's got a kind of thin, slightly curved bill.
I think Justin's put a very thin layer of like graphene over the bits that he wanted to be more shimmery, and like just to make it a little bit shinier. He's like, it's not quite right. Like it changes, but I can't make changing pencils.
Justin, that's incredible. I mean, I know you're young, but have you been gifted any bones yet?
I've got my fate bone, and I've got my the other one that I have at this point. I have I remember what they're called. I have the growth bone. Just got my growth bone, and I'm not okay. You have to not tell my mom. But I found the travel bone, and so I took one of them.
Okay, well, I was going to say if you didn't yet have one, I would give one to you, but
I don't have one. Just throws it on. It was a joke.
Okay. And in that case, Nicola goes into her pack and like searches and rummages through all the jingling, and takes out a very finely crafted wooden bone. It's got 6 sides, and on each side is a careful, like tiny little carving of a bird. Just by coincidence, she'd been whittling it away on her journey, and she hands it to Justin and says, "Here you go, your very own travel bone for finding the bird."
I'm gonna go pick up that one I just threw because I've just remembered that travel bones are like the only bone that isn't burned or buried when someone dies, and it's actually probably quite a precious thing. So I'm just gonna and he just sort of scrabbles around trying to find the one he just threw away, being like, it might be important, it might be like my great granddad's or something, and I don't want it. And then just sort of puts that one in his pocket. Can I still have this?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
As long as you make sure to return the other one.
Okay, I'll put it back. It was just in my mom's drawer. It doesn't seem like she missed it.
Great. I think Nicola's overall plan is, yes, there's going to be a big hole at some point, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Like,
there wasn't
fate has
a
plan. That's a very good point, but I'm sure if everyone else has taken this journey, maybe they've left us some clues, or maybe nature has another way.
You think this is the way they went?
I can feel it.
How?
Can I ask the GM a question, just in terms of those birds that have been described? We don't see anything around us that resembles that.
Roll for observation.
Observation.
Or exploration. Either.
I'm gonna go for observation because I roll a d6 for that. But I got a 1.
You stub your toe.
Oh, I am not happy. Don't see any of these feather friends around.
And Nicola and Justin, you were wondering about, whether this was where the people you're looking for went. You can roll for observation or deduction.
Observation. It's a 3.
It's kind of hard to tell. Nicola says that she's pretty sure that they went up this stream, and you know that they went further up the hill than most people normally have been. But in terms of whether left or right, you've got the right track. Hard to say. But you are getting close to the place that you were talking about, Nicola.
I got a 5.
A 5. You are getting a real strong sense that that both of these trails of emotion that you're following follow this stream, and seem to be tied to it, in that they were on a quest for wood, for plant life. And so, of course, intuitively, you follow the water.
Amazing.
So you continue to make your way up this stream. Mag's limping slightly with her stubbed toe. Justin kind of casting his eyes around, taking it all in, and Nicola kind of like an emotional bloodhound, just really following that trail. And Justin, you are pretty sure that you're getting to that place that you were talking about, that you discovered on your adventures, a place where this stream
I think
maybe disappears.
I think it goes around this big rock here. And then I think that's the cave.
So let's shape this together. Like, what does this place where a stream emerges from a mountainside look like?
I think it goes slightly into this cave. I think there is an opening that is quite small. Like it's not a cave in the sense that the mouth is, this ginormous chasm that anyone seeing it would notice. I think there's maybe a big boulder that you can kind of squeeze behind, and then there's sort of like an opening that's big enough for people to fit through, where the stream comes out, and that is where, do streams kind of go under caves? I guess. Yeah, they would, wouldn't they? Yeah, so I think there's maybe like a little sort of tunnel that the stream then goes into that's kind of burrowed out, but then there's a bigger cave around it. But once you go in, I don't know, I'll let someone else go. But I think the opening's not the largest. You wouldn't necessarily notice it from the outside.
But what is noticeable is the drop in air temperature as things get a little cooler as you get closer towards the edge of this cave. I imagine that it's going to be quite damp in the air, and just a little bit more of a chill.
And there are shimmering stalactites coming down from the roof of the cave. So you hear a little plop, plop. So it's still a little bit wet, but it's definitely a cave.
Justin, do you know how you tell the difference between those that come from the top and those that come up from below?
Pointy down rock, pointy up rock.
Do you know their name? They have a proper name.
Pointy down rock and pointy up rock.
That tells you what you need to know about them. So that's not really
That's what I call them. I made it up.
No, but it's correct. It's your own way of describing it.
That's the real word? No, okay.
They're your real words, so they're real words.
Okay.
We would call them that one there, the pointy down rocks, are stalactites.
Stalactites.
And the ones that point up are the stalagmites.
Okay, thank you. 1 second. And just shuffles through some papers, fine, and he pulls out a page that is, again, the drawings exactly of these things, and then just scribbles out where it says pointy down rock, pointy up rock, and writes in stalactites and stalagmites, and goes, and how, because they're very similar words.
Well, and like, I'm going to take a little pencil from behind my ear and just like underline the C in stalactite.
Okay.
And say, well, remember the C for the pointy down rocks because they come pointy down from the ceiling.
Nice. I
And
like
then
that.
underscore under the G in stalagmite, the pointy up rocks come from the ground.
The ground. Ceiling, ground. Stalactite, stalagmite.
That's how you remember.
Stalag.
And these very similar sounding words are kind of echoing around this cool cave with this stream kind of streaming through it. This isn't necessarily one continuous tube. There are kind of openings going off in different directions and stuff. So could you please roll a group traversal check to see how well you can navigate this underground system?
Could I use my geography skill for knowing? Hang on, let me find what it actually says. Geography. You have a robust mental map of the local area and are familiar with its major geographical features. To maybe, because traversal is bad for me.
The amount of scrambling that you've done, I will count Justin's as a success.
Yes.
So let's have
Amazing.
Mags and Nicola.
Okay. Oh, I got 4.
I also got a 4 on a D4.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work. With Justin's mental map, Mags's practical smarts, and Nicola's absolute focus on the direction that you're and the trail that you're following, you breezily navigate your way through this cave. What could be a dark and scary experience is actually kind of fun. And you follow a kind of breeze that you feel on your faces, and so anytime you get to a junction, you can feel which way leads more readily to the outside. And before long, you see a circle of light at the end of the tunnel.
Is this where we're meant to be going, Justin?
I think this is where the big hole is on the other side.
Okay. Well done. Thank you for getting us here.
Thank you for having me.
How's the compass? Is it coming along?
It's I haven't fixed it yet.
It's all right. And I am gonna just take a finger and just tap on one little dial. Now, if you try and tighten that, and maybe you'll get things moving.
Justin goes cross-eyed while he's trying to tighten different dials and things.
There are actually some magnetic rocks in this mountain, so the needle is going
Mags, they broke it, Mags.
No,
Mags.
You're fine. And if possible, Khalil, just for a little bit of flavor, I have the steady hands ability, which means that I'm able to assemble or repair just about anything. But what I'm not doing is fixing the whole thing.
You're just kind of enabling. Is that what you?
Yeah, that's what I would like to do right now.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
You watch a little thing start to click.
Oh my gosh. Did I do that?
Yeah?
You sure? Okay.
Well, you're the only one who touched it.
Okay, I'll work on it in a little bit, but we should be careful for the big hole, Max. You gotta focus.
Oh, I'll try not to fall.
No, really, it's a really big hole.
So,
I'll try.
you're kind of, yeah, sureing. And then as you get to the end of this tunnel, you emerge blinking into the sunlight. And in front of you is a huge caldera. If a valley is linear, this is round. Almost like within this mountain range is a dormant volcano. And you are in the former crater of the volcano.
Are we in
But
the
this
hole
is-
looking up, or are we looking...
No, you are on the lip.
Sorry, I keep calling it a hole. Yeah, okay, the caldera. You wrote caldera in your notes to me, but I decided that Justin calls it a hole.
This is a science show.
Hole.
So yeah, you are kind of somewhere in the kind of the rim, the edge. So you are above the canopy of not necessarily like a dense rainforest, but a very verdant, lush, kind of little community of trees and plants. It is, when I say little, that's an absolute lie. It is
Big hole.
far enough across that it would take, perhaps a day to walk across, maybe a little bit less, but it's huge. And you can see that there are, most of the trees are, pretty decent size, but there are a couple dotted at various intervals throughout this landscape that are, I would say, head and shoulders above the rest, but they don't have heads or shoulders. But they are 2, 3 times the height of a normal tree, and they have these kind of branching branches that kind of encompass a wide area. You also see that it's a bit of a climb down to get to the bottom of this caldera, or to proceed any further. Anyone else want to shape any bits at this point?
I think I would point out towards the horizon, watching as this group of 6 large golden stork-like birds fly. And you watch this kind of shimmering gold that just kind of floats behind them as they move through the air.
You can absolutely say no to this, but is there any chance that Justin knows exactly what they are with their Witcher knowledge?
Yes.
Is there a
yes,
name
there
for
is,
them?
because these are kind of migrating birds, and so they fly over the mountains and over the plains.
No name that I've caught for them, though.
You did make them up. They're not like from a setting. Okay, cool. Justin will go, oh yeah, I call them the camello birds. They do that every 6 months. Sometimes they go that way, and then they come back.
Oh.
I mean, actually, technically, it's been 5 months and 23 days, so I assume that means in 7 days, roughly, they'll go back that way, and then they'll fly over my village, and that's when I normally see them. I think it's called migrating.
Migrating.
That's what I read in a book.
Migrating. We also call it migrating, but migrating works just well.
Migrating. Okay, hang on. I don't think I've got that page with me. New notebook. Migrating, not migrating. Okay. Do you think they're called camello birds? Because I just made that up. What do you think their name is?
I think if no one else has a name for them, then you can probably make it up for now.
How do you know if no one else has a name for them?
You don't until you talk to somebody else.
And what would you name them?
I think camello birds is lovely.
Max?
I'm happy to go with the discoverer of this and say that that's what you call them.
3 for 3. Okay.
But if we hear other names, then we might add that to the list.
Okay, yeah, sure. But if you two think they're camello birds, then I'm pretty confident we can call them camello birds. Maybe we should call them Justin birds.
It's a bit gauche.
We tend not to name things after people.
Oh, why?
Well, just occasionally.
In case that person's a really horrible person in the future.
Yeah, you're really
have, like, a bad taste in your mouth. Yeah, I can understand that. Okay, yeah. I don't want to be a bad person.
No, I don't think you would be.
Nicola just distracts Justin by saying, well, you know how I know the difference between stalactites and stalagmites?
Oh, yeah, go on.
Because stalactites go down your legs and stalagmites go up your legs. That's how I learned it. I've never had any mites, though.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Camello's a great name.
The bird, yeah.
So, you are at the edge of this tunnel. The stream you've left behind, that kind of emerges into the tunnel a bit behind you from deeper in the mountain. and you are standing on the lip of this kind of entrance to the caldera. A bit further down the wall on one side, you see a little waterfall, which might be where the other half of that stream ends up.
I'm scared to go down.
You also, let's roll. Yeah, roll observation. We'll see.
All of us?
Yes. Cool.
Got a 5.
Got
1.
5,
Natty 1.
4, and 1. So Nicola is still really enjoying the mites tights joke. But Mags, you've got your telescope out, and you see about halfway or so between this cave and the nearest of these giant trees, a clearing in the forest, a small area of missing canopy. You can't quite see down into it at this point. It's a wrong angle, but could be something, could be nothing.
I'll point towards it and say, Nicola, I think if you see in that here, I'll pass over the telescope. There is a gap in the trees down there. I can't quite see anything in it, but that's probably, I don't know how long we're going to spend in here, but if we're looking to make camp, perhaps that's the direction to go.
Looks good to me. Any plans for how to get down, or?
Well, perhaps we could traverse down. I'll look for some rope in my bag, or
as Chroniclers, you would have rope, but
Perfect.
yeah, let's roll group traverse.
Right, Justin, be careful.
Okay. I'm very scared. Can I roll a disadvantage? Is that a thing in this game?
I mean, you're already rolling a d4, but yes.
Okay, yeah, that's true, right? Okay. No, I rolled with disadvantage. It's okay, I got a 1 on the first one, so it's okay. Yeah.
Hey.
That's what I wanted down.
I got a 2, so I think as Nicola comes over to reassure Justin, she's like, just take it slow and you'll be just fine.
Yeah, a rock crumbles under your foot.
Yeah.
Slides down on his butt. Like,
And I would imagine that we've kind of
Mags,
put ourselves
get?
together with rope, and I got a 2, so I'm also rolling crap.
down we go.
So if Justin slips and Nicholas slips, I'm behind and I get pulled down onto my bum.
And you are all tumbling down this steep, scree kind of. You're bumping into shrubs and trees and rocks, and you seem to be getting faster. And you're like, this is really, really dangerous. This is are we gonna make it out of this? And then suddenly, you are pulled to a halt, and Mags and Nicola, you bump into each other like a Newton's cradle. The rope has become caught on a tree. So you are pretty near the bottom of the slope, but you are bruised, scraped, disoriented. You don't feel like you've broken anything, but how are you feeling?
Is everyone okay? That was quite the knock.
Justin, where are you?
Khalil, did you say I was with them or no? You did.
Yeah, you're all tied together.
Oh, I for some reason I only
sorry.
heard Mags and Nicola, and I was like,
Sorry,
Justin's
what-
carried on.
No. So you're all tied together in a 3,
Okay,
and
yeah.
you were kind
That's
of
what I thought.
bumping
Okay.
down the slope, and then there was a tree. It got
Yes,
caught here.
with them.
You're kind of dangling below them.
I
And
understand.
they're kind of like that.
I thought you
Awesome.
meant I just gone. Okay, yeah. Ow. Yeah, I'm okay. I think I grazed my knee.
Okay, well, be brave. We're gonna set up camp soon.
From this tree?
Almost, not quite.
Probably not here.
Okay.
Nicola, you alright?
Yeah. I'm all right. So Nicola has a skill called patterns, where fate loves patterns. So if you could see the patterns of fate, you could read the future. But I just recognize the patterns in the little everyday things. So I would like to see if there is like a path down the cliff, like any regular footfalls that we could use to get down the rest of the way.
Okay, you're using a skill.
I am, but I'm probably concussed, so I can roll for it.
Yeah, roll for it.
Roll for concussion.
Yeah. A 4. Decent.
Okay. You don't see a path. This doesn't seem to be an area that is well traversed. But you do hear.
Justin, have you heard that one before?
Heard what one?
It was the flutter of small wings.
Yes, that's wings, Nicola.
Oh, sorry.
Justin will look.
You see nothing.
Oh.
And then you hear and you see a little flash of, was that magenta?
It was the bluebird. Unties himself from the rope and just starts running.
No. Quickly does the same.
As soon as you untie, Nicola just drops.
Oh no!
All care for his safety has gone out the window. Justin is barreling down the rest of the side.
As you're scurrying through the undergrowth, all you see is green, and all you hear is the of undergrowth. You lose track of the color and the sound.
I lost it.
Justin, where are you?
Pokes his head up from the undergrowth.
We promised that nothing bad's going to happen to you. They said that we'd been in a lot of trouble, so. Oh.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, but
hey, if none of us come back, what are they gonna do?
That's not an option.
No.
One or none. No, wait, all or none. That's what I meant. If either we all come back or none of us do.
Justin, I know that this is a fun adventure, but please do not tempt fate.
Sorry, fate. He'll
Thank you.
shrink a little bit as he says it and like look up at the sky.
What were you chasing?
There was the bird, the blue, the color one.
Oh.
I haven't named it yet.
No. Well, I think we all need to see it in more detail.
Then we can name it together.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Justin, you feel don't take this the wrong way. What are you wearing?
This is very like brown. There's like a little brown shirt and there's some little brown trousers and my satchel. That's about it. And my necklace with the compass on.
So you feel on your, because you're wearing a short sleeved shirt, right?
Yeah.
You feel on your forearm a little kind of tickling sensation. You look down and there are several large ants running along your skin.
Hey, Max, Nicola. Are these bad? I'm just sort of hold out.
Ooh.
Are they bad?
Well, I
would like to
know.
draw them, but they're on my arm.
Well, you need to be careful with ants. Then some of them can be a little bit more protective than others.
When I say large, I'm talking like the size of a small finger.
Oh, I don't like them anymore.
Could
Could you maybe remove them from my arm?
Yeah.
You have an idea for what you're going to do, Nicola?
I'm gonna shake my arm really
No,
hard.
don't shake your arm. Don't shake your arm.
So Nicola is planning to remove the ants from the arm, plot them safely on the ground, and then put the child over her shoulders.
While they're doing all of that, can I use my study interaction to just stay really still and just watch what they're doing on my arm.
Yes. Okay, so Nicola, you roll. What are you gonna roll? You roll either. You roll. Would this be?
I
Deduction?
think it's observation
Is that because it's your highest stat?
is one of them.
Okay, let's go with observation. While you're rolling that, Justin, you are studying these ants.
Which is observation.
Yeah, roll study.
4.
So
Big
with a
5.
4, it seems like you, in your haste running through the underbrush, you weren't keeping mind of anything around you other than this bird that you were trying to chase, and you must have, interfered with the ants' kind of marching path or something like that. They don't seem actively aggressive, but they don't seem like they're where they want to be.
Okay. I don't think they want to be on my arm anymore.
Well, let's see if we can help them find a way home.
Nicola, what did you roll?
I rolled a 5.
Okay. So you see, actually, a few paces back, there is a spiked tree with quite kind of almost ornate spines on its trunk, and in between all of these spines are running these large ants, and they are carrying bits of food and stuff like that in one direction, and they're running parallel in the other direction. They also seem to be running along the forest floor, and Justin must have just run across it, and and kind of picked some up off a passing plant. So
Okay.
with a 5, I think you are able to kind of gently pick them off and kind of pop them back down. You don't know whether they hold a grudge.
Yeah. I think if there are like little holes in the ant line, I try and pop them back into the queue, so I don't mess things up too much.
But you don't know which one was in which place.
I know.
Hold that left one. I just really want to draw it.
I think it's for the best if we pop those down, but you had a really close look, right?
Yeah, I can probably remember.
Mm-hmm. And I put Justin on my shoulders and say, there, now I can get a better view of the ones on the tree.
Sweet. Oh, and pulls out his pen and paper and rests it on your head.
Yeah.
As they're doing this little drawing, Mags will I'm gonna use bait as an interaction if possible, to just look for a particularly important berry that I can give the ants as a kind of sorry.
Sure. You can see that there are a couple of things that they're carrying. Some of it is plant material like berries, leaves. Some of it is actually other invertebrates. You even see what looks like a couple of mammals or small birds being carried. These seem to be ants that do not mess around. But yeah, one of the nearby bushes you can see has kind of purple, kind of very kind of fuzzy berries that when they're firm when you squeeze them, but then they pop in your hands, and it's kind of a sweet smelling juice. So yeah, you pop down a couple next to the trail, and you see that for a few seconds the ants just keep running past like commuters on the pavement, and then one of them seems to notice this sweet smell and kind of start investigating, and then goes back to the trail with this berry, and other siblings start coming, joining, and kind of carrying away this pile of berries that you put there. Between the kind of incident management and the consolation berries, you have avoided turning the forest portion of your journey into an inverted card. So you've managed to secure an upright card for this part of your journey.
Yeah,
Well done.
boy.
You
I
don't want to
still like to
invert.
draw them.
It's about this time that you hear voices. You
Oh.
hear.
Oh.
Sorry, I've just seen the. Sorry, I
That's
was
my ant.
thinking and I missed the ant.
It's okay. It's just an ant. It's just
It was a
not a
good ant.
particularly good or
It
drawing.
was
of
big.
Big ant.
You hear what could be muffled voices through the trees, and with that, we're going to take a brief break and come back to our Chroniclers in the Forest. I'm really enjoying this so far. Thank you so much for sticking with us, and we're going to take a 10-minute break, and we will see you at 32 minutes past, approximately.
Specific.
Bye, bye, bye.
For part the second.
Bye.
Peace and folks.
Bye.
Hello! Welcome back to Science and Sorcery's Mappa Mundi one-shot. We join Mags, Nicola, and little Justin, battered, bruised, narrowly avoided getting stung by giant ants. And you have come into this kind of hidden caldera in the middle of this mountain range, kind of on a twofold mission: to look for missing people and to chronicle any new life forms you find. And you have just heard what could be voices through the trees over there.
Now, before anyone does anything, we need to be careful that it's actually some people, because it's not always.
Very true. That's an important lesson, Justin.
What could it be if it's not people?
Well, it could be an animal pretending to be people.
They can do that?
Some of them can do that. Do you know that there is a bear that can mimic vocal sounds and even faces?
Faces? It pretends to be people?
It can make its face look like the expression that a person makes. It's a bear called a Madu Madu.
Okay,
Wow.
please hold. Does it look like this?
It's similar. It has a lot more tongues.
How many tongues?
8 tongues.
Why?
Well, it uses them to, well, similar to Nicola, to feel the world.
I think that's quite horrific in my drawing now.
It's an interesting creature.
Mm-hmm.
It's monstrous in the most beautiful way.
And we like all animals and monsters and creatures.
They're good, but we just sometimes need to be careful.
What do we do? What if it's a bear with person face?
Because I use my skill called intentions to try and determine at least what they're talking about, to give us a clue if they're people or not, and if they're the people we're looking for.
Yeah. You asked 2 questions there, so roll, and depending on how well you roll, I'll
Okay.
answer 1, none, or both.
Oh boy. 3!
Okay. You get 1. You don't know if these are the people you're looking for, but they are. Some of them are arguing, but not in a kind of combative way, but they're debating. They're disagreeing. 2 of them are asleep.
Okay. Mags, if I didn't know any better, I think it was you and I over there. They're having a right old Barney.
What's a Barney?
Oh, just in the old words for an argument.
Ah,
Well,
From
shall
before the
we
flux.
shall we approach slowly and try not to surprise them, even if it's people?
Yes.
I don't really like people a lot of the
Me
time.
neither. I get that, but
Maybe Lena's there.
maybe that's why it's worth checking.
Let's go in with the intention of problem solving, listening, being open. I think that will help.
Problem solving, listening, being open. Oh, okay, got it. Let's go.
Okay.
So you pick your way through the undergrowth, and you start to hear the crackling of a small fire. Not like a raging inferno, a campfire maybe. And then you get a bit closer and you can see through the trees several figures sitting around what looks like a campfire. And you start to hear their voices a bit more clearly. I still think we should just chop it down. Like, look at all that wood. We'd be living like kings. No, but it's so beautiful. There's plenty of trees around here. We can just get those. But what about... We still haven't found Lena.
Before we go any further, sorry, Khalil, your microphone's a little quiet for the audience, if you're okay.
Sorry, I shall project. Sorry, I'm used to my voice being loud, so I tend to tone it down a little bit when I'm being sensitive.
It's all right. Just making sure folks don't miss the important bits.
So yeah, you are hearing snatched bits of conversation about maybe one member of the group is quite keen on cutting a tree down. One member of the group, it kind of thinks it's something beautiful that should just be kind of left alone. Another person thinks that it could be like the site of a new town that we could live here. And it mentions that that they didn't find Lena. And as you get closer, you can see that there are three figures sitting around the fire, and there are two figures lying on kind of bedrolls nearby.
Place a hand on Justin's shoulder. I know what you heard, but we'll just take it slow, okay?
Okay.
I think Nicholas steps forward and goes, "Excuse me, hello. We've
Justin
come."
will... Sorry.
Go on.
Justin, as Mag said, will kind of grip Mag's hand and kind of turn it into a handhold.
So as Nicholas steps out into this clearing, the three awake folks turn around and scrabble for hatchets, machetes, things like that.
Hello, you mentioned Lena. We've come from the town to help. We're from...
You're not from the... Oh, Justin! What are
Yeah.
you doing here?
Yes, I'm just helping find you. Where's Lena?
Come on, you know you shouldn't be this far away from
No,
home.
I'm helping. It's with the
this is
Mappa
adult
Mundi
stuff.
people. No, I know. I'm being a grown up.
Okay, look, this isn't the time and place. We'll talk about it when we get home, but just...
I'm helping.
Who are these two?
This is Max, and this
Hello.
is Nicola. They're from the Mappa Mundi Institute.
And young Justin here is the only reason we're here.
Well, la-di-da. Well, these two and Lena, wherever she is, are the only reason we're here. And they nod to two figures who seem to be resting and quite badly injured. Found these two at the bottom of the cliff. And gods know where Lena is. We've been wandering around for a week trying to find her.
Well, if you didn't find her, then she can't have been lying at the bottom of the cliff, and that's got to be a good thing, right?
Yeah, you'd think. But this place, it's not like home, you know?
Yeah,
There's
it's better.
things in these trees. Ants as big as your finger.
Yeah, I know. I had 5 on me. Maybe 500. I don't know. I didn't count them.
They look at Mags and Nicola very disapprovingly.
Hey, you said it was a difficult climb down. We had to deal with it. It was a difficult climb down.
Yeah. Well, what are you here to do? Help? Because...
Well, your town told us that there had been a group of 3 went missing, and then another group of 3 had not returned after going to look for the group of 3.
So we're another group of 3.
I assume we have found our second group of 3.
the definition of madness, right?
Well,
3rd time's the charm.
You always knew what to say, Justin.
Oh, is that true?
My name's Marwa, and they put out a hand to shake. That's Gia, that's Zashid, and those two unfortunates, Abo and Taufik. We can't make it up the cliff until they're better, so we kind of, we're still sending out patrols looking for Lena, but it's been a while.
Max and Nicola can probably heal them, right? Max and Nicola?
Do you have supplies? Healing supplies?
Only what we came out with, basic bandages and stuff, and they gesture to the bandages, covering the injuries on Abo and Taufik, and they seem like that in a more sanitary environment they would have been changed a while ago.
Okay.
Can I use my quartermaster skill to say that I only brought some new bandages with me?
Yeah.
It means that I can be properly provisioned for an excursion.
You're a very practical person. Yes.
And can I use my pattern skill to look for any similarity between the wounds and conditions I've seen in the past to give them any tips?
Sure, yeah. You identify that these wounds are not life-threatening. They are, debilitating for now, but given rest and kind of basic medical care and decent food, they should eventually be able to move again. And as Mags pulls out fresh bandages, that does warm up Gia, Zashid, and Marwa to you. They see that your intention is to help and to solve problems rather than just to come and be yet another liability. And they even seem to treat Justin with a bit less condescension. Still a bit of condescension, but a bit less.
Hey, Magua, if these two fell down the cliff and Lena didn't, then maybe she's still up the top.
From what we know, from the little we've heard from their waking hours, they all remember they all fell, and they don't remember landing, but they remember the fall.
Okay, that's good though, because that means Lena got up earlier and went away.
Yeah, we hope so. Hope there's no 12-armed giant cougar. Or
I don't think that's a thing.
10
Is that a thing, Max, Nicola? Is that a thing?
I don't think so.
Not
Think
something
it
I've
could
seen.
be.
We are here to help. We can go on and continue the search. But we need to know what you've seen. What signs are out there, what creatures live here, what things we might want to look out for as we're moving through this space.
Yes, show us your sketchbook.
Fresh out of paper.
Oh,
Sorry, Justin.
I've got some spares if you'd like it.
You know what? Sure.
I'll give over a few pages.
They hold their hand out for a pencil.
Oh, okay, yeah. Here, I've got loads.
So Zashid leans over and kind of takes the pencil and paper out of Marwa's hand and starts sketching out a kind of rough, a very rough pencil map of the areas around here that they have done kind of looping patrols in to try and find Lena. So here there's a pretty steep ravine. I want to steer clear of that. If you had the same experience we had with the cliff. Over here, that's one of those giant ants' nests over that direction. Again, steer clear of that. Over here, not really much. Over there, what was on our list for today's we're gonna go and check out one of those giant trees. You know, there's one probably a few clicks over that way, and it's look, we came here for wood. I'm just saying, it's made of wood. And then Gia pipes up like, well, come on, man. Like, we're surrounded by wood. We don't need to take the biggest one. It's like, we came here for wood, so let's take the biggest one.
I thought you came here to find the people.
And find the people.
But you
Like-
just said you came here for wood, so that makes it sound like you didn't really care about the people.
No, look, they came here for wood. We came here for them. And
Right.
also, we still need wood back home.
Okay,
We want to come back with the people and
And
with
the
what
wood.
the people came for.
sure. That
What do
makes
we
sense.
know? What do we know about this tree?
It's fucking huge. And it is
I'm not allowed to use that word normally.
No,
Yeah.
please don't.
earmuffs just.
Fucking.
Hey. Don't let me hear you say that back home, all right? Otherwise, we'll get in trouble.
Oh, well, like what? Maybe we're gonna have to make a deal. Hey, show me. Have you found any
You're
cool
smarter
feathers?
than you look.
If you give me a cool feather, I'll not say it, and I'll
You
not
know
tell
what?
them that you found that you
You
said.
know what? Reach behind them. And they pull out a flower made of feathers.
This is incredible. Did you make
It's not-
this?
It's not made of feathers. When you look closer, it's a flower, and the petals are feathers.
Magua, did you make this? Please,
You like to know?
please, can I hold it?
Yeah, gently.
Okay, I'm gonna draw this real quick. Okay. Carry on with your conversation.
So-
Well, it makes complete sense for us to follow your lead. You know, you've been down here long. You're the experts. So we'll make our way towards the tree. But, you know, we were sent here to help reunite the people of the town. So that will be our focus. But once you're all together, you can decide what to do. Does that sound okay?
You know what? Sure, whatever. We could do with a rest day. We're knackered. Like, you do a loop round that way. Let us know what you find. We'll stay here with these two. Because we've been here for a week and we've been walking pretty much every day. So now
You've
it's
done
your
an-
turn.
You've done an amazing job taking care of them. Just take care of yourselves too.
Bad job finding Lena, though.
Oi!
Sorry, I'm drawing my flower. I didn't know you. It's fine.
Has anyone looked at this flower? Like, and done
I've drawn
it. Wrote the drawing, but would it be possible to try and kind of figure anything out about it? Because this is, it's sunset. The moon's come out. It's dark now. But yeah, I like to maybe have a closer look at this flower and see if there's anything about it that might be odd. I'd be thinking to use read as an interaction here.
Could I help with that by using my sketch interaction?
Absolutely.
Maybe assist his role or whatever.
So you are actually going to get two different things from those two different skills.
Do we need to roll though for these? Just
Yes, you
Yeah.
do.
yeah.
Sketch is.
Thank you. This is my
Oh,
first time
Yeah.
playing or running Mappa Mundi. So
Hey, it's
please
not
do
even
this.
out yet. Where can people find out more about it and maybe buy the game?
Oh my god, if there was some kind of starter of kicks
Oh, that'd be
Mm.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, check
That
that
would be
pinned
useful.
message.
somewhere over there.
Yeah.
I got a 5.
I also got a 5.
What?
Okay, that's pretty good. So
Macromeges.
with the sketch, you can tell that this is structurally a flower. This is a flower, but the feathers remind you a lot of something you chased quite recently.
The bluebird.
Mags.
Is that because they're like iridescent?
Yes,
Almost.
these feathers,
Oh,
these
shit.
petal feathers are iridescent blue and pink
Amazing.
with a base of black.
Amazing.
Mags, you were reading, correct?
Correct, yes.
You, with a read, will. So what sort of thing are you trying to?
Well, this is a
Ask.
flower that appears to be made of feathers.
Mhm.
So I would like to understand, is this a flower? Or is this a part of an animal?
Okay. You examine it closely, and it has clearly been plucked from a plant. It has a stem, and you can see where the stem used to connect to the rest of the stem. It has, the kind of sepals, and they lead to the petals. But like at the base, the kind of the heel of a flower, like the bit at the base, it feels harder and smoother than like at the base of a flower normally does.
Like a quill? Or like
More like an egg,
more like an egg?
or like like an egg, but with a little bit more give, like a cross between an egg and an olive.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
But the feathers, the petal feathers, they have that fractal branched structure of feathers. It has the barbs and the little hooks that join them together. These look like flight feathers. This seems incongruous. This seems like it's not a mundane piece of nature.
I'll
It seems
hold it.
flux touched.
I will hold it towards Justin and say, well, you're an expert on birds. But I don't know that this is anything that any of us have seen before.
I've never seen anything like this. It's amazing.
Well,
It looks like that bird that I chased.
it does. It
You
does.
haven't seen it, you don't know.
Well, you've described it very well, and you've
Oh,
drawn
thank you.
it.
That's true, I have, yeah. Okay. Do you think it's the bird's egg? Do you think that's an egg?
I have no idea.
Magua, where did you find this?
Oh, there's a little shrub just like over there, just a little sapling.
Justin runs.
Nicola runs after him on instinct this time.
Yeah. Roll observation.
2.
5.
Justin runs straight past it.
That fully tracks. Yeah.
Justin!
Nicola, you find you hear a crunch as Justin runs over something. And in Justin's footprint is an iridescent shards of something thin. And next to the footprint is a broken stem.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Next to the broken stem are some beautiful flowers.
I've broken the whole thing.
No. Oh, okay.
I can't see it anywhere.
Nicola gently places a hand on the broken shards to see, are they sticky? Is there any way to try to put them back together?
That's eggshell.
Yeah. Okay.
And they are like beautiful and pearlescent.
Justin, can you come here, please?
Yes, I can. Hello. Yes. Hi.
Be gentle. Kneel down with me.
Okay. What happened to it?
There's a broken egg here. I know you didn't mean to, but you were running.
I did it.
Mm-hmm.
As you get down onto your knees and you get really close and you get very present with this, you can also see that there is a little ground nest around the remains of the egg, and at the center of which was where the sapling enters the ground, or came from the
I'm
ground.
gonna cry. Did I kill them?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I'll never run ever again. Never,
No.
ever, never, ever, ever, ever.
It's okay to run. You just have to look where you're going.
How?
Yeah.
If you're running, it doesn't make any sense, Nicola.
Okay, then how about this? We'll walk together. We won't run, and I'll show you how to look down. Okay?
Do you think the mama bird will be really mad at me?
I think we can deal with whatever happens next. Okay?
I can hear it. Can you hear it?
I can hear it, but fate really listens to our intentions. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to take all of that curiosity you have and just open it up and let the forest know you didn't mean to do that.
I didn't mean to do it, Forest.
Okay. Now we're going to be brave and gentle. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they're both as important as each other.
Okay. I'm gonna write that down. Okay. Brave and gentle, as important as each other. Do you think I could now take one of the bits of eggshell?
I don't know if that's better or worse.
I'm gonna do it, Nicola. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do. Can I do take samples as one of my interactions and just take one of the broken pieces of eggshell, please?
Mm-hmm.
In another world, Jason would have pulled the wings off bugs, but we're not in that world, and Jason is nicer than that.
Who's Jason? Jason is Justin's
Yeah.
evil cousin.
Jason
Justin
is
would
Justin's
never do
evil
that.
cousin. Yeah, there you go. That's what Jason would do. This is Justin. Justin's is really.
Goddamn
it's really
Jason.
Jason.
So through this sketching and this reading and this taking of samples, I know it's not quite the encounter phase officially yet, but you have unlocked one of the behaviors of the mysterious iridescent life form. Flowering and fruiting.
Ooh. So sad. And is that the fact that its eggs grow on a plant? Is that what this is? This is what's happening. This is what Emily's
You're
understanding
not
is.
quite clear yet.
Okay, cool.
But you know that it has some kind of flower and bird
Oh, cool idea.
part of life.
Wow. This is amazing, Nicola, and I'm really sorry that I ruined it. Do you think...
No, don't worry.
I think... I'm sorry again, Farth. Sorry, Fate. I think I would like to help it, and then it will get better, right? And then there'll be more, and then they'll be less mad at me.
Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes these things happen. It's fate in itself, and then we can use the knowledge that we gain for the better.
Okay. Then we can protect it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think, if I'm completely honest, and I'm reading the rules that I wrote because I wrote this and I wrote this monster, you've actually unlocked 2 behaviors already.
Oh.
Flowering and fruiting and avian larval form.
Ooh.
Avian larval form? How
Mhm.
cool.
You understand that there is some kind of bird plant life cycle going on.
That's awesome. Hey, Nicola, you know how normally birds lay eggs?
Yes.
Well, the eggs appear to grow on trees. Right.
That's odd,
So,
isn't it?
does the bird lay a seed?
I think it's very possible, Justin. Very
And-
possible.
In which case, the question of what came first, the chicken or the egg, would actually be what came first, the chicken, the egg, or the tree?
Mm.
And the answer would never be the egg, because the egg needs the tree. So, in theory, we can deduce that the chicken must come first.
Deduction's never been my strongest skill.
I've solved the age-old problem. Excellent.
Mags. I think Mags would love your
The
theory.
chicken came
I've
out
been
first.
busy with some eggshell and the glue.
Oh,
I think all of this is happening as the day turns to evening, and as you're setting up camp, and you spend an evening with these tired gatherers, and you have, it's a relatively pleasant evening. It's not a celebratory atmosphere, but it's nice to they're happy to have new company now that they've kind of sussed you out a little bit, and that they know that you're here to help. They are still, they have discussions long into the night about, what to do when they can start moving again. But it never really gets resolved.
Can
So in the
Justin-
morning,
Sorry, just while that night's going on, can Justin work on the compass? And also, if we have time for this, Khalil, I just have a little conversation that Justin would really love to have with Mags and Nicola, but
Go
we
ahead.
can, he will just go and sit between them and say, hey, can I ask you both a question?
I don't know that we have a choice, but
You can say no.
no.
We're saying yes.
Okay, what's the best animal you've ever seen?
Oh,
Or creature? I know, are they all animals, or are they some monsters and some creatures and some are animals, or are they all like the same word? Because I'm not sure. Because it seems to me that a monster is actually just a really big animal that people are scared of.
well, they're not always really big. Sometimes
And they're not always
they're
scary.
small.
Mm.
Sometimes they are just. Sometimes there's only one of them.
Right.
And you know who my favourite little monster is?
No.
You!
I'm
And
not a
this tickles
monster,
him.
Nicola, I'm not. Stop it! I'm not a monster. I'm a person. Are people monsters? My
Oof.
dad calls my mom a monster sometimes.
Okay.
Like once a month, he's like, "You're being a monster." He says the red monster. I've never seen it.
Well, you know how sometimes there are spooky stories that adults might tell to children. That's a spooky story that adults kind of share amongst themselves.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so what's your favorite?
I once saw a dolphin that just had an array of blowholes, and it was almost like a fountain. When it dove above the water, it would do just happy little blasts. It was
Wow.
wonderful.
That's really cool.
It was great.
So many blowholes. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll draw it. I've never seen a dolphin, so I don't even know what a dolphin looks like. So
Mhm.
it's gonna be a real gamble. Okay, Mags, what about
yeah,
you?
you have grown up in a very landlocked area.
Yeah,
You might have
Justin-
heard of a dolphin, but you have never seen one.
Justin knows it's something in water, so the only other thing he's seen in water is a frog, so it looks a lot like a frog with a lot of holes in it.
Oh, like a Suriname toad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do not Google that if you're
Oh,
trypophobic.
absolutely don't. I'm not even trypophobic, but I do not appreciate that frog. Mags, what's your favorite?
Mags will think back on what has been a very long life. Perhaps the most inspiring of creatures that I've come across has been the Wagoba,
Wagoba.
which is an incredibly large feline, a large cat,
Wow.
with the voice of a human.
Again, another one pretending.
It doesn't pretend.
Oh.
It speaks to people. And it spreads messages of hope.
That sounds nice.
It's very large. It looks very scary. But he
That's
is
nice.
so incredible.
Thanks. I think my favorite is I like the ants from earlier.
They're pretty cool.
They're really big. And I like the bird that I haven't named yet. And I like the Carmelo bird. I like them best because I saw them with you two. Okay, bye! And then runs away and like goes and like hides under a blanket and tries to go to sleep.
And as you happy cry yourselves to sleep, so you wake up in the morning, and there's a minimal amount of kind of invertebrate and kind of dead plant matter in your sleeping bags, and you have a traveling breakfast, so maybe some fruits that you've gathered from the area, but also some hardtack or jerky, things like that.
Just for a little bit of a moment, because I want to be able to use the skill, I will stop Justin from eating the wrong berry.
What? It looks good. Oh, okay.
Don't eat that.
Yeah,
I
that
love
bush,
Phil,
that bush
don't
is
eat that.
surrounded by dead mice and small birds.
Oh god. Oh, if there's loads of dead animals, Justin will. If you wake up and you will see Justin drawing some of the dead animals, and moving wings,
They're
so you
in
can draw
various states
anatomical.
of decay and skeletonization.
Phenomenal. He will be drawing skeletal structures and whatever level, and he'll be like, "I didn't break any of them open. They were like this when I found them."
Well, that's why you don't
Yellow
eat those
jar of
berries.
bones.
That makes so much sense, Mags. That makes so much. See, I'm learning so much from you.
So you presumably set off in the direction, on the map where it's towards the giant tree. It's the direction that hasn't been properly investigated yet by this group. Roll exploration, please. Group.
All of us? Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, natty 6.
Nice.
Sorry, I lost my page.
3
5.
on the D4.
Okay, 3, 5, and 6. Okay. You through the kind of, because this isn't super dense forest, it's just kind of wooded, so you can see through the canopy and kind of navigate basically using the tree because it is your destination. And now that you're a bit closer, you can see that it seems to have it's this constant cloud of all different sized birds flying around it, and its trunk seems to be full of little climbing animals and things like that. You can't really tell much detail from this distance, but as you get closer, the area around it, under the canopy of it, doesn't have many big plants because it takes a lot of the sunlight in its leaves. But there is some smaller growth because it's kind of a dappled shade. And you get a feeling of, Nicola, you get a feeling, vibes check incarnate, of welcome.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, Justin, you're doing so well at treading carefully. Let's keep it up.
Yep.
I think for now, we're okay. I think we're welcome here. And looks at Mags, being like, my vibe said we're welcome.
I can feel it.
I'm so proud of you.
Why?
Well, remember when you were asking Mags, how to fix the compass? And sometimes you can find out or learn, but there are some things you just know. And those are the things that I'm trying to figure out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So as you get closer to the tree, you can see that a large proportion of this cloud of flying stuff around the tree does seem to glimmer with pink and blue, that kind of iridescent fluttering. And you can see that on some of the on the branches, there's a kind of smattering of those same flowers that you saw on that sapling.
There's more of them, Nicola.
It's beautiful.
I didn't kill the last one.
No. Nature finds a way.
And maybe there wasn't even a baby in it. Maybe it was just, just an egg.
Mhm.
Sometimes eggs have chicken in it, and sometimes they don't.
It's so true. It's so true. Let's imagine it didn't, eh?
Okay. I will be doing that. Yes, Emily will be doing that too.
So this is definitely piquing your chronicler instincts. This is not a normal tree.
Yeah.
So I guess this is where the chronicler part of your job kicks in, as opposed to the search and rescue part of your job.
Nicola, I would like to touch the tree. Do you think that's a bad idea?
How about... Okay. If you're treading really, really carefully, let's see if we can find a root nearby, maybe, and work our way up to the trunk.
It's not really like a tree,
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know. I know.
I don't know what trees are like where you're from, but this isn't normal for me.
Mags, can we touch the tree?
Max, please?
I mean, I know that I'm older, but I'm not really in charge. You can decide what you want to do if you think that's the right thing. I'm standing quite a bit further away. But I am looking around for any of these little iridescent birds.
Cool. Yeah, roll. What is it? Observe? No.
Observation
Yes.
or deduction? Observation.
Roll observation if you're looking for birds.
6.
No.
Yes, you see. There are a bunch kind of fluttering around, kind of in the kind of canopy of the tree, but you hear, and you see. There is. Like one of these birds that has kind of been fluttering around, kind of visiting various flowers and of other species, and kind of like refueling from them. And then you see another one arrive from a different direction. Doesn't seem to have come from this tree. And the two birds, they're facing each other, and it's almost like they're kind of dancing, and they're kind of getting closer and interacting, and then they fly off together.
As the other two go towards touching the roots, I'm just going to call to Justin. Justin, what was the call that you made yesterday?
Like that.
And Sam can't replicate that, but would like to try to play with these birds whilst the others touch. But I will wait until you folks do that.
Okay. So did you say you're gonna wait until they touch before you play? Okay.
Yeah, they'd set that up before, so.
Okay. So,
I will say I don't actually have touch as one of my
I do.
things.
Okay,
great.
Okay, so are there any roots around? Could we see any roots, or do we have to go for the trunk?
there are at the base of the trunk large gnarled roots that seem to really kind of thrust into the ground. And the ground seems to have even like almost ridden up along the side of it, like they are kind of one with each other.
Mm.
And you go and touch one of the roots. The bark is gnarled. It is it seems kind of bumpy, especially where it meets the soil. You feel like there is something to investigate there, but you're going to need to do more than touch it.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel like, again, with your intuition for consciousness, the feeling of welcome, it doesn't go, but you get the feeling that you could overstay it.
Got ya. So I think, yeah, okay, all right. Let's cut back to Sam. Unless Justin, you want to do or say anything?
Justin will just go, okay, I'm gonna sit here for a little bit. Okay, Nicola, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be real quiet for a second. And he'll just sit and stare, like right underneath the tree, like just stare up. And for that, like you basically use the study thing, but you can go to Sam and then come back to Justin.
Okay. So, Mags, you attempt to kind of observe these birds dancing, and you try to engage them in some kind of play. They're moving with quite like kind of not sudden, but quite kind of intermittent movements and quite fast. You're not used to moving that fast, and you're bigger than these birds, and they see you moving like this, and they seem to think of that as a threat, and they flutter off. They keep their distance.
Okay.
So that'll fray a thread.
Okay. Cool. I will
Emily.
step back.
Justin, what were you doing?
Justin's gonna sit and just sort of stare upwards, sort of up through the branches, all this sort of cloud, and I'm gonna try and use my study interaction.
Okay. You look upwards through the canopy, past the trunk and through the canopy, and you see thriving communities. You see families of squirrels living in little knot holes in the tree. You see bees' nests teeming with busy workers and a family supporting each other. You see these like all sorts of birds other than the iridescent birds that you've been following, nesting in the branches. Roll. What is the ability
It's
that
observation.
roll observation?
This dice really likes rolling 5s. It's a 5.
Okay.
I like this dice.
You've discovered a behavior. You've discovered refuge to many.
Oh.
This tree is a community. It is an ecosystem in itself. It is a family of families.
This is amazing. Nicola, Mags! And Justin will sort of scurry back. He starts to run and then just sort of slowly walk, and then suddenly sort of just goes, no, sorry. I think there's it's like its own place, you know? It's like everyone comes here, and everyone's allowed to come here, and it's just really nice. There's bees, and then there's a squirrel, and then there's lots of birds, and I've seen some other bugs up there, and then I think I saw like a lizard, maybe. I might have made that up, but I expect they would be fine there.
You did see a lizard.
And there was a lizard. I definitely saw a lizard.
More than one.
There were at least 3.
It does seem like a home, doesn't it? Maybe even a home to people who are lost. I wonder if this tree has seen Lena.
How would you ask it? Can you talk to trees?
I can try. And Nicola has the interaction sing. So with one hand on a tree root, I'd like to replicate the bird song. But with the like intention of like, I've seen yours, have you seen mine? People wise? I'm so sorry. That didn't come out correctly.
I'll show you yours.
Getting on this
I'll
tree.
show you mine. But you show me yours.
How many stages to this life cycle can we get?
Alright.
That
Sorry,
does feel
we're very-
more like something for that dolphin.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll the skill for.
Okay, sing is exploration. Oh, it's a 3.
You sing, and you hear a little chorus of in the canopy. There doesn't seem to be a huge amount of response from the tree. But roll observation.
5.
You see something moving higher up in the branches. Something move out and behind a branch that seems maybe a bit bigger than other stuff that you've seen in this group of organisms.
Max, where's your the eye thing?
Already got it. Got a little
I'm pointing it out.
telescope.
You see a person up in the tree.
I will slowly take the telescope down and not make a scene.
It's a female presenting person. You don't kind of catch a really good look at them, but you do see the shape of their body and the kind of the clothes they're wearing. They seem to be observing you three from one of the branches.
Do they look okay?
They don't look hurt.
Justin
Hello.
and Nicola, just quietly come here. I'm going to hand the telescope to Justin and point towards the individual.
You put it up like this?
Is that Lena?
Is that Lena?
It's Steven Seagal. No, yes, it's Lena.
Yes, of course. Stephen, get down from there.
No, Steven, stay. No, yes, that's Lena.
That's Lena.
She looks, like she has been out in the wilderness for a while, but she doesn't appear to be she doesn't appear to be scared or upset.
She seems happy.
She seems to be curious and a little cautious.
I think that's her. That's her. That is her. Should we shout at her?
Yeah. I mean, wait, can't
Hey,
climb up that-
Lena!
So with that shouting, two things happen. One is that you see a kind of a shift in the flocks of birds and insects and animals like flying around the treetop, and a shift in the kind of comportment of the lizards and squirrels on the trunk, and you almost see a little kind of tremor on the ground until you realize that it's a bunch of insects that have kind of stopped moving, and that's what made you notice them. And you also, the second thing is you hear, that better not be you, Justin.
Hey, hi.
Oh my God! Don't stay where you are. I'll be.
You be careful.
You be careful.
I'm being careful.
And you see this person kind of carefully clambering down the gnarled trunk of this huge tree, and she says, when she gets down to the bottom, and she gets up, Justin,
Hug.
keep your voice down. Yes, I'm so happy to see you too, but
Hi.
you've got to keep your voice down.
Okay.
You've got to be respectful.
Why were you
here.
in a tree?
This tree, this place, these creatures, they don't like being scared, okay?
Okay.
Got to be careful. So you have inadvertently performed the provoke action and unlocked community defense,
Okay. Uh-oh.
which is another of the behaviors.
That feels bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I just was. We thought no one knew where you were.
I know. And if I could, I would have sent a message home or something. Look, I got separated from the others in a nasty fall. I couldn't find them, and
And the tree helped you.
yeah, I found this place, and you can. Do you want to try? And she reaches into a bag and pulls out this thing that kind of looks like a large olive or something. But it's glistening and iridescent itself. These are a miracle. I could walk, but I was pretty hurt from getting here. But
They help you.
I feel better than I have in years.
Oh, Lena, I would really like to taste it, but I think there are people who need it more. They're your friends. They're hurt. They're back there.
You found them?
Yeah, and the people who came to look for you. I'm pretty good at this.
You found Abo and Taufik?
Yes.
You are such a smart boy.
You know what? I'm taking far too much credit for this. My friends Max and Nicola helped. They're my best friends.
Oh.
We're only here because of Justin.
Lena's my cousin's sister's
knew.
girlfriend.
Hmm?
That's how I know you. I was just saying how I know you. You're my cousin's sister's girlfriend, and you're also my friend.
I mean, I'd like to think we're friends first, but I just knew it. Look, I know that some of the people back at home say that all of this, dreams of being a chronicler are silly.
Chronicler.
Sorry, Chronicler. But I knew that you'd do something special like this.
I don't think I've done anything special. I wanted to make sure you were okay. All we did was go through a mountain, climb down a cliff, and fight some ants, and then had a nice night last night. That was nice.
You fought, those big ants. You fought them.
Yeah, I have like 5
You haven't
million
been
on
stung,
me.
have you?
No, I'm too good for that.
Okay, because those hurt.
Yeah, well, I think most of them bit me, but I don't feel it because I'm strong.
Look, well, this tree is generous if you're respectful. Like, look, and she leans down to the ground, and like some of the fruit from this tree has just dropped. And she says, look, some of these, I think they stay on the tree. And I've seen one of them open into a bird. But some of them fall off and they never turn into birds.
Some of them don't turn into birds.
Try it.
I don't want to eat a bird.
It's not a bird. This is one of the ground ones.
And this is okay if I have this, and the others will still be okay? That you can have other ones?
Maybe ask the tree.
Can I look at this fruit?
Mac, can I eat this?
With my don't eat that, say, this looks safe to eat.
You're gonna have
Roll,
to be
baby.
quick. Ah.
Which is a 6 that just feels perfectly timed.
You have unlocked a behavior called delicious, nutritious.
Amazing.
These fruits are, they taste a mix of sweet and savory. They have a kind of a firm flesh. They do have a slight shell to the outside, almost like a mini egg, but a bit softer on the inside.
Awesome.
And it tastes like a whole meal.
This is really good.
And you get the feeling that this, having been given by the tree, it feels very different to how you felt after you accidentally stepped on that nest.
This is nice.
I think in the background, seeing the tree get a little bit stressed out after the shouting, Nicola's just kind of leaning against it, stroking it, a little bit singing here and there, and using her skill Soothe to calm it down.
Great, roll Soothe.
Yes, Soothe, baby. 3.
Okay. With a 3, you won't repair the thread that was frayed by yelling at it, but you do unlock another behavior.
Oh.
Which is sedentary monster sentient tree.
Oh.
So you, in trying to connect with it and soothe it, you don't necessarily fully succeed, but you do realize that there is a consciousness to be soothed. And I think that is probably a good point for you to start thinking about what does this mean? You have found this place that has all these new organisms, plants, animals, probably fungi. But this one in particular seems to be sentient. It seems to be a home, seems to be a community. And you also just came from a home, a community in Alkadi. And everyone needs a home. And you've got some people who are separated from home, and some of them want to make this their home. Some of them want to destroy this and take it back to their home. Some of them want to just leave it alone. And you get the feeling that this isn't necessarily in your job description as chroniclers, but it is something that you have something of a responsibility to reckon with.
Mags will pick up a couple of the fruits, look at the tree, bow her head, and just say, "Thank you."
As Justin sees that, Justin will run over to the tree and wrap his arms round it and give it a squeeze and say, "Thank you very much for keeping my friend Lena safe and for everything you're doing for all the nice animals. Do you have a name, and do the birds have a name? Otherwise, would you mind very much if me and my friends gave them names?"
You hear a flurry of wings, and you feel the fluttering around you. Mags and Nicola, Justin is now covered in little iridescent birds. Mags, you have one on your shoulder. Nicola, you have one resting on your finger, looking you in the eye.
Justin is doing that silent scream thing that kids do when they get so excited.
You don't get any verbal communication. It doesn't tell you its name. But you do feel like the respect that you have shown this place has been reciprocated.
Thanks.
It's quite a community. Takes a village, you know.
Yeah.
Shall we take these fruits back to your friends, Lena, and get them ready for the journey home? And perhaps we'll talk about what an amazing place we found and how we all make sure it stays this way.
I don't want them to cut the tree down, Max.
I don't think the tree would let them.
You're right about that. Who was to cut it down? Don't tell me. Was it Gio?
I think yes.
I'll have a word with Gio. Honestly, I'd kind of love to just stay here, but I miss home as well, and I know that people rely on each other, and I'd miss you, Justin. So
I missed you.
let's go. Let's see what we can do.
Hey, we could come here occasionally and just sit by the tree. I'd really like to draw it properly with my coloring pencils.
I'd like that. Yeah.
Maybe you could create a path to go back and forth, preferably with a ladder.
I'd like the ladder. That hurt earlier.
Yeah. But at the same time, we got to have a conversation with the town about this place, because now that we know it exists, some people are gonna have different thoughts as to what to do with it. And
I'm not going to let them hurt it.
Good. You and me, and as many people as we can persuade, we can be the people who speak up for this place.
Yeah.
Stand up for it.
Yeah.
Get everyone on side.
Yeah.
I knew you'd do something special. Little high five.
Now, Justin, do you know how to get back?
Oh yeah. Just up the cliff. How do you get up the cliff? I never came down the cliff before.
Carefully and slowly.
Okay.
But first, we got to see the others. Where are they?
They're in a little glade, a little bit back.
Mm-hmm.
But looking around, Mags, I'm gonna act like I don't know where I'm going.
I think hang on, Mags, I can help. And Justin will pick up the compass, and having looked at it this morning, when they were at camp and looking where north was there, but I think we have to go this way a bit, and kind of glances back at Mags like, am I right or am I reading it wrong?
I will just look over your shoulder and just tap the compass, and you'll watch as a little mechanical movement will form into two M's, and then say, I think you're exactly right.
I knew that, right? Tally ho! And Justin will start leading the group.
As Justin leads off, Lena's gonna hang back and put a kind of somewhat weary arm over Mags and Nicola's shoulders. But thank you, by the way. Not about me. But thanks for looking out for Justin. I appreciate him.
It was an honor.
Good kid.
Yeah. Look after him at the institute. When he's ready.
Looking forward to it.
He's ready. You could go now. Gonna run the place. 2 years up.
So, you make your way back to the camp. There are tearful reunions, amazed faces as Lena tells her story. A kind of lots of mixed emotions in terms of guilt at her friends having been hurt and her not being able to find them and things like that. But overall, it's a real kind of teary celebration of reunion. And then you make your way back, retracing your steps using Justin's incredible sense of direction and now working compass.
Do you
Both
have geography?
internal and external compass, moral and physical. And you know, between the 9 of you, you are able to, you know, much more carefully, you know, using like rope and kind of pitons that you might have, make your way up the cliff and back to the tunnel, and making your way. I keep saying making your way.
Making your way.
Following the cave again and the stream, and as you go into the cave and you look back over your shoulders to the caldera, saying maybe au revoir rather than goodbye forever. Let's shape. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear? What do you...
I think Mags will look back out and see more of those birds again.
I think Nicola feels the kind of momentum in the same way that they followed the kind of memories of the area to get back. They're getting pulled out by just Justin and his like sheer force of will and love of you know, all the chronicling he's done and thinking about all the future that lies ahead of him.
I think Justin, when he looks back, actually sees more. He looks at it less as looking at it and more of seeing the shapes and the colors and how he's going to draw it and paint it. And I think when he gets back, Justin will do a giant picture of this tree and the landscape in an attempt to show everyone how beautiful it is and how much it should not be tampered
Is it on
with.
a wall?
Yeah, let's say it's a mural. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
So normally Mags and Nicola would just immediately be on to the next assignment. But you know, you stick around for just at least for a little bit, to be part of the community discussion that needs to be had about this town's relationship with its environment, with the other beings that inhabit it, and all the people within it, and how to make the most fulfilling and equitable like living arrangement. And with that, I think that brings our story to a close. Thank you all so much. This has been a really, really wonderful experience. It's been really fun. I really, really love the way that the shaping mechanic in Mappa Mundi allows so much collaboration in the world building. Thank you all. This has been really lovely. And thank you for watching and making this possible. And thank you to 3 Cells Studios for making this awesome game.
And thank you, Khalil.
Yeah.
This has been an absolute joy. I've been Khalil Thurloway, he, him. You can find me on Science and Sorcery. You can also find me on Blue Sky at Dr. Talks a Lot. You can also find me hosting the Wild Crimes or Our Broken Planet podcasts, if you like me getting political about nature. Sam, what about you?
Hello folks, I'm Sam, my pronouns are he, him. I was playing Mags this evening. You can find me here on Science and Sorcery, or at Sam Size on Blue Sky and across the internet. I also run another channel called Who Hurt You, which is all focused on sad stories. The final episode of our Orbital Blues game goes out this Friday at 7 p.m. GMT, which stars Rachel in that game. And then upcoming soon, we have got a series of kids on bikes called Our Last Summer, in which Emily is involved, and it's super
Heartbreaking. It is. We recorded the first 2 episodes the other night, and I cried so much that the next day I thought I had a hangover and I didn't drink anything. And I think it was literally because I dehydrated myself from crying.
I only know the elevator pitch of that game, and it sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Emily.
it's brilliant. Like I loved it.
Oh, sorry, no, Rachel, then Emily.
Oh, okay. Hello, I'm Rachel, pronouns she, they. I'll be playing Nicola this evening. You can also find me here on Science and Sorcery. You can see me live if you're in London at the Royal Institution on the 3rd of March. And if you're interested in a children's book about neurodiversity, then check out All Brains Are Wonderful, which I gave scientific advice for and is out now.
Sweet.
Emily.
Hello, I'm Emily. You can find me on the internet in various places at MZWB. That's EMZYWB. I also randomly started streaming on Twitch recently because I'm freelance and have no work. So that's at EmilyWB. It's a different handle, useful. And yeah, that's silly. But if you like Mappa Mundi and you like me, well, oh boy, how exciting! Tomorrow night, I will be running a game of Mappa Mundi, the first part of 2, over on RP Geeks, which is the channel you can find me on normally, which is at RPGeeksDND. Yeah, we're doing a 2-shot over the next 2 Tuesdays, and as a bonus, on Wednesday lunchtime UK time, so 1 p.m. UK time, GMT, we will be having a chat with one of the designers of the game, George, who is wonderful, and we're really excited, and we're going to ask him loads of questions. And if you have questions, let me know, and we'll put them to him. You can ask anything. I hope. Well, George seems pretty chill. I think we can ask him pretty much anything. I will be doing the censorship of questions. Censorship? No. What's the word? Like checking.
Curation.
Curation. Thank you.
Moderation.
Curation is the word. There you go. Curation of not censorship. We will not be censoring your questions. But if you have a question, do let me know, and we'll put it to him. But yeah, I love this game. It's so good.
Right.
So
Everyone
good,
knows the day after Mappa Monday is Jeeks Day.
It's Jeeks Day or Mappa Tuesday.
Mappa Tuesday,
doesn't
yeah.
work quite as well. But yes, do give us a follow. We actually won't be streaming on Twitch. Exciting. We're streaming on YouTube. So it's youtube.com/RPGeeksDND. It will be live over there. In fact, I think the links to it are already there. I will go put them in the chat now.
Amazing. Go follow RP Geeks. They are wonderful people and great performers, and I'm sure that's going to be an amazing 2-shot. Sam, we have upcoming stuff on our channel that we'd like people to be aware of, don't we?
Yes, it is LGBT History Month, and we have been running a series of queer games in collaboration and thanks to the wonderful folks at Pride in STEM who've allowed us to bring some, so far, an all-Scottish table playing Orbital Blues, an all-English table playing Paint the Town Red, and next Monday at 7 p.m. GMT, an all-Welsh table playing Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which will be GM'd by the wonderful Liv Kennedy, and who we absolutely adore, alongside an incredible cast of people that we're going to be announcing in the next couple of days. One of them's playing just a stoat, which I just absolutely love.
Just a little guy.
Please, just a little
So
guy who just happens to be a stoat. If you've not watched any of the ones that we've already put out, I'm going to pop the YouTube link into the chat. Please go check them out. And yeah, otherwise, if not, come and check out the one that we've got going next week.
And if you liked the tree bird creature, which I can tell you is called Falstinia, and if you like the idea of the Madu Madu, the 8-tongued bear with a human facial mimicry,
I do not like the idea of that bear.
So
I
both
just
of
want to be
those-
real clear. I do not like the idea of that
mission
bear.
accomplished. Both of those were creatures that I wrote as part of Science and Sorcery's writing new monsters for Mappa Mundi. So Sam and I did a show a week or 2 ago where we went through some of our creations. The rest of the team have their creations as well, and we're hoping to get those published and out to you in some kind of form soon. So watch this space and watch that show, because it's a lovely hour and a bit chat of me and Sam just talking about weird little guys that we made.
Guys.
Little guys. But
until then, be good to each other, be good to yourselves, be good to the world. Love you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.